Sarina Morales and Gordon Needs of Bally Sports bringing you the action of the 2023 World Baseball Classic. Gordon, how's it hanging in Phoenix? And how is Pool C treating Team USA and friends?
Well, we always knew, Sarina, that the game against Mexico Sunday night would probably be America's toughest test in this tournament.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone outside of the most fervent Mexican fans anticipated that we came within one run of the mercy rule having to be implemented. Mexico opening a 9-run lead in the 8th inning. Of course, it's the 10-run rule after 7 innings, which is how Canada, in its debut, defeated Great Britain earlier Sunday afternoon, 18-8. Slow start, Sarina, for the two big guns that were supposed to be carrying the U.S. Mookie Betts just one hit in his first 10 at-bats. Mike Trout, Captain America, he got a single yesterday. He's had 3 walks. Otherwise, very quiet. The big offensive forces have been Kyle Schwarber, who hit a 3-run home run in Game 1 victory over Great Britain, and Nolan Arenado had 3 hits, and Tim Anderson drove in 3 runs in a losing cause Sunday. It seems that the issue is going to be pitching, Sarina, and we'll talk more about that. Let me know what's going on in Miami.
Yeah, here in Miami, Venezuela leads Pool D as the only undefeated team. They were expected to play well, but they beat Dominican Republic right off the bat. And then they went head-to-head last night against Puerto Rico. I don't have any more sound in my ears. Like, I can't hear anything anymore, Gordon. The guy to watch for Venezuela, Orioles outfielder Anthony Santander. He's hit a home run in each of the 2 games so far in this tournament. He's also been a star defensively in right field. And what's wild about him is the manager for Venezuela said in pressers this week that he didn't think Santander was ready for the tournament based on his performance in the 2 exhibition games. Santander said he's ready. He's taken over 60 at-bats during spring training. Clearly, the man knew what he was talking about. As for the rest of Pool D, Puerto Rico lost to Venezuela last night. I mentioned the crowd was louder than some Super Bowl games I've covered, but ultimately they lost 9-6, but they showed some fight. Down 8-1 heading into the 6th inning, Puerto Rico responded with 4 runs. Meanwhile, the Dominican Republic, they had a day off, but they lost to Venezuela in their first game. And then Israel came back to win against Nicaragua, turning on their bats once relief pitcher Jonathan Loaisiga came in for Nicaragua, which was really surprising considering that, that's a secure win for Nicaragua on most days. Loaisiga, one of the top players on the team. Gordon, as for today, what's going on with Team USA and the rest of Pool C?
Well, I should mention, Sarina, that we did get a taste of the kind of atmosphere you've been experiencing in Miami Sunday night. This was essentially a home game for Mexico. The crowd singing, chanting, dancing. It was quite a night. The U.S. is now faced, believe it or not, with the likelihood of tonight's game against Canada being a elimination game. If they lose to Canada, the best they could hope for is a scenario where they would end up in a 4-way tie, and then you invite the mathematical chaos that you saw in Pool A, where both Cuba and Italy wound up in a 5-way tie. They advanced much to the chagrin of teams like Taiwan and the Netherlands. So, big game tonight. Lance Lynn, the 35-year-old burly, bearded one from the Chicago White Sox on the hill for Team USA. He's pitched once in international play for Team USA back in the Pan Am Games in 2007 when he was only 20 years old. He said he's a lot smarter now. He said older pitchers, you learn as you go on. Well, if he's right about that, then the U.S. should have a big advantage because Canada is going with a left-hander out of the Texas Rangers organization named Mitch Pratt, 19 years old. We'll see. On paper, Team USA should be favored, but this is a huge game for the Americans.
Yeah, I'm so excited to see what goes on here in Pool D. The Dominican Republic will look to get their first win, which is wild for me to say that when they play Nicaragua for the first game of the day. Nicaragua will do their best not to lose 3 games. I mean, they were really aggressive with their bats against Puerto Rico. I spoke to Juan Montes for Nicaragua. He's been one of their top players so far. He also rocks an amazing mustache, might I tell you. He's been growing it for years. You can't miss him on the field. And then Israel will play Puerto Rico for the nightcap. Houston Astro prospect Colton Gordon, he'll be the starting pitcher for Israel. And then Jose De Leon, who pitched in Puerto Rico's Winter League. He comes with years of MLB experience. He's going to take the mound for Puerto Rico. Depending on how Puerto Rican players show up today with a win, this is going to make Wednesday's much anticipated matchup against Dominican Republic the tiebreaker on who advances to the quarterfinals here in Pool D. So really exciting stuff. Gordon, while we are not in overseas, I mean, Pool A and Pool B have also wrapped up heading into the quarterfinals. That's right.
Yeah, so the quarterfinals on the other side of the pond, you got Australia, Cuba, Italy, Japan. I would think that Cuba and Japan will both be heavy favorites. Meanwhile, Mark DeRosa, first-time manager here for Team USA, he admitted that he's having some frustration, hamstrung by the rules about pitching, not only the WBC rules, but the admonitions from the 30 parent clubs that he's trying to satisfy, not using guys too much. You know, when Clayton Kershaw and Logan Webb withdrew, you kind of thought that maybe pitching would be an issue for USA. He left in Brady Singer and Daniel Bard much longer than he ordinarily would have because of these rules.
Yeah, in Pool A, which was wild, they have a 5-way tie. Every team in the pool finished with a 2-2 record. But Cuba and Italy, they'll advance to the quarterfinals. And then in Pool D, undefeated Japan, they're also advancing along with Australia, whose only loss was to Japan. More coming here your way, Gordon. I will see you tomorrow with more from WBC updates from Pool C. Again, I'll be hanging here, and hopefully my ears will stay connected to my head because it's been a wild one. As always, hang with us on Bally Sports.